Hello everyone, welcome back to the Shadow Clan, ShadowFeng here. Seems like it's been a while since we've done something. I don't know, maybe it's just maybe it's just me, but it just seems like it's been a while. Anyway, welcome back. Today I'm going to do another top 10. It's been a while since I've done a top 10. My last two Pokemon top 10s as far as actual types were water and grass, so I'm just going to keep on with that. So I'm going to go with the other starter type that we all get, which is fire. It didn't take me too long to really come up with this list because I had to actually eliminate some of my favorite starters for this list. I didn't want to use starters because if I put starters on this list, that would be half the list. So I didn't want to do that. So I tried to come up with 10 fire Pokemon that I've used and enjoy using without using starters. So take that into account as I do this list. So let's get this started. And we're going to go down to number 10 here. Now when I first used this Pokemon, I did not like it at all. Actually, I think I used this Pokemon the very first time I played X, and I didn't like it. But now that I'm kind of getting more into the competitive aspect of it, and I'm kind of paying attention to natures and things like that, this Pokemon is kind of growing on me a little bit, and I think it's worthy of a top 10 spot. I'm putting Talonflame at my number 10, mainly because of the speed factor. I love my fast Pokemon. That's one reason it was kind of disappointing the first time I used it, but like I said, I don't think I really paid attention to the natures or the ability or anything like that. But like I said, since I started doing that and I started kind of playing around with movesets and things like that with this particular Pokemon, I'm actually having a lot more fun with it. I've actually put it on a couple teams, and it has come through for me. I like running the Brave Bird, either Volt Switch or U-Turn, Flamethrower, and Wing Attack. I think are the ones I usually run on this Pokemon. But it's a lot of fun, especially like I said, it's really useful for competitive battling. I like the Flame Body ability myself. I don't like the other one, which is like Graceful Wing or whatever. I don't like that one. But along with the ability and its speed, and depending on the moveset you can give this Pokemon, it can be very useful in competitive battling. So like I said, it's kind of growing on me, and it comes in at my number 10. Number 9, this was the first fire Pokemon outside of Pignite that I raised in Black and White, and I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Darmanitan. Its design is something to be desired, okay? It looks like kind of half gorilla, half statue type thing. So I'm not really basing this on the design. And I know the fire fighting type has been, I'll even admit, I think it's been overdone. They've done it with several Pokemon. It is a good combination, but I think they need to try and find something else to compare fire, or to pair fire with. But Darmanitan is a lot of fun, and its attack power is through the roof. Defenses and special attack aren't so high, but which is kind of weird because physical fire types are not very common. Fire types are usually special attackers. But in this case, Darmanitan is a physical attacker. It can learn Hammer Arm, Super Power, Flare Blitz, Flamethrower. I think you can learn Brick Break. It's a very physical, it's got a more physical moveset, which I like. I like physical Pokemon. I like to be close range and I'll take you out. I have a strong physical attack. That's just the type of person I am, and it's not just Pokemon. A lot of my fighting games or RPG games, I like to use close range characters. So I do like Darmanitan. Like I said, its attack power is through the roof. I tried using him in a little bit of competitive battling. I didn't really have very much luck. Sorry about that, my hat's being weird today. I didn't really have very much luck with Darmanitan yet. Maybe I just haven't paired him with other good Pokemon, but I'm working with it. But I think Darmanitan is a lot of fun, so if you're into Black and White, or even his newer ones, try Darmanitan. Let's give him a shot, see what you think. I think you'll be somewhat pleased. Number 7. I'm surprised my wife's probably not going to kill me for having this Pokemon this low on my list, but it's too much of a special attacker for me, and its defense is very, very lacking. Houndoom is my number 8 Pokemon. Like I said, it's not the design, it's not the attacks, it's the defensive stats that put this Pokemon down so far. I know most fire Pokemon don't have good defenses. I understand that. But Houndoom's just, it's very, very, very frail to me on the defensive side. Maybe it's because it's part dark, I don't know. Like I said, I like the design. Its attacks are good, its movesets are decent, but defensively, it takes one hit and it's dead. It's just not, defensively, it is very, very weak. I think that's why I had to put Houndoom so low on this list. And another reason is, comparing it to the Mega form that it gets, the Mega is really not that much better. And if I remember correctly, if you put a Life Orb on regular Houndoom, it's actually better than the Mega form anyway. So why would you make a Mega form for a Pokemon that doesn't really jump that far in stats? To me, that's kind of weird. Yeah, so like I said, I'm sorry to all you Houndoom lovers out there. I know it's a very popular Pokemon, but to me, it's just a little lackluster. I think if its defenses were a little bit better, and if you would have made the stats a lot improved with the Mega form, it probably wouldn't be so far down on this list. Let's move on. Where am I here? Number 7 is Flareon. Now, once again, Flareon is probably actually one of my least favorite evolutions because its attack, its move pool is very, very pathetic, and its attack power is not even that great. Its design is pretty cool, a little bit too puffy on the tail for my taste, but I can see what they were trying to do with the whole design. And I do like the original Eevees. I think the original Eevees are probably still some of my favorites. And I have used Flareon on numerous occasions, and it's not that I don't dislike using it, but like I said, I think they could have changed some things around with it, giving it a better move set, giving it a little bit of a better attack stat. I think would have improved this Pokemon a great deal. But I do like Flareon. Like I said, its overall design, it is pretty cute for a fully evolved Pokemon. Excuse me. Ugh, throat's getting dry. And its speed stat is decent, which most of the Eevees, from my experience, their speed stats are pretty good. And as you probably know by now, I do like to use Pokemon that have a decent speed stat on any team that I try and run. I didn't really talk too much about Flareon because I've already covered it. So like I said, the design is pretty good. Its move pool and attack, I think, are why it's so low on this list. Hopefully, maybe in Gen 7, maybe they'll go in and maybe at least give it a little bit of a deeper move pool, which I think would greatly help. Alright, number 6. This is actually a Pokemon that kind of surprised me, and I think I put this on, or do a video of the top 20 Pokemon that surprised us. I'm not entirely sure about that. I was really iffy about raising this Pokemon because I've raised one similar to it before, and it really was disappointing. This Pokemon is Camerupt. Like I said, I raised a Magcargo. I think I raised Magcargo like 3 different times, and it's very lackluster. Magcargo with that Fire Rock type is very disappointing. So going from that, I was very apprehensive about raising a normal into a Camerupt. First time I played through Oris, I needed a Fire type because I started with Swampert. And this the first one I taught was Numel, so I said, okay, let's give this thing a try. I was actually very surprised. Camerupt is very good. Its defensive stats are very well rounded. It has a great attack set. It can learn Rock Slide. Let's see, Flare, Blitz, Overheat, Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Earthquake. I think you can even learn Fissure, I think, at some point. Which I didn't teach mine, by the way. But I think that is an option. But I was very surprised. I think, like I said, it was I liked it, especially once I got the Mega Stone for it. I think it was even better. So yeah, definitely a big surprise for me. I had a lot of fun raising Camerupt. I know its design is kind of dumb looking. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a camel or a cow or what the heck they were trying to do with it. Its design is very weird, I will say that. But coming from just a game council perspective, it's a good Pokemon. I haven't really had a chance to try him in competitive battling yet. I might actually put him on a team here after a while and see what I can do. But I did enjoy Camerupt. I liked the fire ground combination. I think it was very well done. Like I said, I'm not sure what they were doing with the design, but sometimes some of the dumbest Pokemon are some of the strongest. At least that's from my experience. Alright, let's move on here. Number 5, we're getting into my top 5. There's where things get interesting, and these were actually the hardest on this list. Like most lists are, your top 5 are usually your hardest to put in certain order, especially after my first 2. The first 2 were easy, but knowing 3, 4, and 5 was kind of a trick for me. So number 5, I had to put Ninetales on this list. Once again, Ninetales, I think outside of Charizard, was probably the first fire type that I raised in Red and Blue. And I loved it. I loved Vulpix. It was a Vulpix, especially in the original. I think now, for some reason, Vulpix seems a little bit harder to raise than it did back then. Because I used to try and raise a Vulpix all the time in the original versions. I loved it because it could learn Confuse Ray, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, Quick Attack, and certain moves like that. Which, back in Gen 1 was a pretty powerful set. Especially with having Confuse Ray on there, which I used to use all the time. Like I said, I'm not dissing Ninetales now. I have used one now, and it's still very good. But like I said, I tried to do this in a Nuzlocke not too long ago in Oris. I had a Vulpix on there, and it just took forever to level up. It was very, very slow. I don't know, maybe it's just the one I had, or if there's something different about Vulpix now, I'm not sure. But anyway, Ninetales is very cool, and the design of Vulpix. I know it's supposed to be representing Kitsune, I understand that, but the way they did it was absolutely fantastic. It's a gorgeous looking Pokemon. I even like the shiny. I love the silvery color with the red eyes. Absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, it's fun to use. You can have a lot of fun experimenting with new sets now, especially with new moves like Extra Sensory, I think you can learn. Will-O-Wisp, stuff like that. So, if you're trying to find a good fire type, if you haven't used before, get a Vulpix. Find out when the best time to use a Firestone to evolve it is, and have fun with Ninetales. I think you'll really enjoy it. Number 4. Now, this one, some people consider him a legendary. I consider him ultra rare. That's why I'm putting him on this list. I love the dual combination. The attack and the defense of this Pokemon is through the roof. I'm talking about Heatran. This thing is a tank. It's a fire steel type. It can take almost any physical attack you throw at it. It can learn anything from toxic to it can learn toxic, it can learn tech, it can learn heat wave, flamethrower, earth power, rock slide. This thing can learn a crap ton of moves. This thing has a very deep move set, and I absolutely love that. I like the design of this Pokemon. Excuse me. I like the way it's designed, its whole look, the coloration is very well done. And like I said, if you give it the right move set, it is so fun to use this Pokemon, especially in competitive format. One of our favorite YouTubers actually had problems with one of these on one of his Wi-Fi battles, the Shady Penguin. I remember he was going up against someone that had one of these, and it was running Toxic, Protect, Knock Off, and something else. It was a very weird moveset, but it was effective, and it kind of threw Shady off. So you can have a lot of fun with this Pokemon. And like I said, its attack and defense are very, very good. So once again, looking for a good fire type, try and get your hands on a Heatran. They're hard to get a hold of. A lot of people don't want to get rid of them. But if you can somehow get one, have fun with it. Experiment with some movesets. See what you can do. Alright. Number 3. Number 3 is Torkoal. Why is this ahead of Heatran, you ask? Partly because this thing represents a turtle. I love turtles. I actually want to get some one of these years. I want to have like 4 little pet turtles running around. I also like this Pokemon because, once again, it's got that good defensive stat to go with a decent attack. And I love the ability, it usually gets Clear Smog if I remember correctly, which, if I remember correctly, it keeps it from getting status moves or something like that. That's the one that I usually get with my Torkoal, which is very useful. I know Torkoal's not the fastest Pokemon around. I know its special attack and attack are not super high, but I like Pokemon with a decent defense, and that's what Torkoal has. Especially with certain types like Psychic, Fire, Dark. It's kind of hard to get a Pokemon in certain elements that have a decent defense, and Torkoal has that. And because I believe that you have to have a decent defense to go with an attack to make sure the Pokemon stays on the field, so you can do something to your opponent. Plus, like I said, it representing a turtle, and the way it looks doesn't really hurt it either. I like Torkoal, and plus, when I saw Ash have a Torkoal, I loved how that thing always tried every time it lost. Ash's Torkoal was so funny, it made me crack up. So that's why Torkoal is number 3 on this list. I absolutely love that Pokemon. Here we go. These are my top 2. Alright. Number 2 is Magmar. Not Magmortar, Magmar. I have used both of them. I didn't really see too much of a difference between Magmortar and Magmar. So, to me, because like when you go Electabuzz and Electivire, you can actually see the difference. You can tell there's a difference in the evolutions. You can tell that Electivire is stronger than Electabuzz. But from what I did, when I raised a Magmortar, I didn't really see a huge improvement from Magmar. I like Magmortar's design. I think having kind of a bazooka arm is pretty cool. But since there wasn't really any improvement that I could tell between the two, I'm going with Magmar because, once again, nostalgia factor. I remember playing Red and Blue, and if you could catch one of these on Cinnabar Island, you were considered the man. These things were so hard to catch. That was probably one of the toughest Pokemon to catch in the original versions outside of a Legendary. I remember me and my friend Jared used to compete to see who could catch a Magmar first. That's how hard this thing was. And not only that, but they were hard to find. You had to search the same area of Cinnabar Island for freaking ever. It took so long to try and find one. And once you did, you had to try and catch it. I like Magmar's overall design. I don't know why they had to give it a bill like a duck, but other than that, I like the overall design. It's a powerful Pokemon. To learn Fire Punch is actually one of my favorite moves. I think it was, back in the day, it was the only Pokemon that could learn Fire Punch, if I remember correctly. In the anime, of course, it gives Ash and Charizard a good battle, which is very impressive. Once again, that nostalgia factor coming through. But I like Magmar. I think it's a fun Pokemon. I like the overall design, the coloration of it. And of course, usually it comes with Flame Body, which is probably one of my favorite abilities in the game. Alright, here we go. Number 1. I remember seeing this Pokemon run across the screen of the original Pokemon with Pokemon Anthem coming out. And the first time I saw this thing, I was like, I gotta find out what that is and raise it. I am talking about the one that should have been a legendary but isn't, Arcanine. Arcanine is so awesome. It's a 9-foot dog. Who the heck wouldn't want a dog that stands 9 feet tall that you can ride and that can spit fire? Like, come on, seriously. It's so awesome. Like I said, I don't know why Game Freak decided not to make this thing a legendary, because it is freaking awesome. I'm actually raising one in Hard Gold right now. It's a little frustrating because this one is taking for freaking ever to level up. But regardless, I love Arcanine. It's just so majestic and powerful, and it's just, oh, I love it. I love it. You can teach him extreme speed. I usually give it extreme speed, a physical move like Bite, and then 2 fire moves. That's usually how I run my Arcanine, but you can do so much with this thing. You can teach it Sunny Day, all kinds of stuff with it. Arcanine is so fun. It's very versatile. It's got decent attack and defenses. You can make this thing super bulky, and I've actually seen that in a lot of competitive battlers are actually making Arcanines defensive, which can actually cause a lot of problems for your opponent. So, that's my number 1. Arcanine, the majestic dog. I freaking love him. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good job, Game Freak. Thumbs up on Arcanine. So, anyway, that's it for my top 10 Fire-type Pokemon. Like I said, I'm sorry if it seems like it's been a while. At least it does for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just my schedule somehow got messed up. But, anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. And I will see you this weekend. Maybe with the challenge, maybe not. I don't know yet. Anyways, have a good day.